What up? What's up, everybody? You know the time. You know what's going on. It's Big Cheds. We're just hanging out. Life is good. Life is blessed. I'm really happy to be here. And I want to say thank you for just spending a little bit of time with me on a Tuesday. It's Tuesday, 1/21/2025. Of course, it's part of the Quick Market Update series on my YouTube channel, Cheds Trading. Most of you probably know me from Twitter at Big Cheds. Some of you only know me from YouTube. Yada, yada, yada. If you're just learning how to trade, or even if you've been doing it for a while, watch the Masterclass Technical Analysis tutorial playlist. I teach professional technical analysis. I take the complicated, the academic, and I try to make it simple for you. I've published 3 books. I have another one coming this year. I just finished the first draft. I'm super proud of it, and I'm getting ready to edit Trading Journal. I do these videos about 3 days a week. I do these videos on Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. Wednesday, Sunday night, I do a full market report at Bitcoin Live. It's the best team in the world that studies crypto. I've been doing that for 7 years. These are kind of fun. I cover some things, but at Bitcoin Live, I kind of go over the whole market. So check that out if if you don't get enough here, or maybe do both. Let me know in the chat room if you can hear me. Sometimes my volume is weird. Let me know where you're from, how you found the channel, and then maybe some good trading questions. I like to make these streams educational. That's what I really want. That's what I really want to do. Put out some free alpha. Hopefully, give you a little bit of perspective. The markets can be wild. I know we love that. We love crypto markets, but I want to try to make it a little bit more, a little bit less complicated for you. So I've got some tweets to talk about. Let's do a little bit of a quick overview on stuff. We'll check out the tweets and we'll go to the chat room. So what's going on in Bitcoin? I mean, 103K is pretty good. You got to be happy with 103K. There had been a lot of discussion, recently about a head and shoulders. Is it a head and shoulders? That really doesn't matter. And I think, and that was my approach too, was just kind of, hey, let's focus on the key levels. And hopefully you've seen that, how it really doesn't matter, how over-focusing on names, or maybe even over-committing to a quote-unquote pattern before it completes is maladaptive. Very well-defined range lows. We had the sweep of the range lows. We talked about the 4HW quite a bit with the range low sweep and recapture, 96K. Long signal, low time frame consolidation and throwback, 4HMA20. It's all stuff that should be reviewed to you at this point. And then a punch through and a continuation of the local overhead at 99.5. And then a couple throwbacks. And that's where we're at. We're trying to stair step here out of the range low recapture. There's just been a bunch of really nice, clean, easy long trades in Bitcoin. If you wanted to be long, you should already be long. Could have taken some profit. It's been trading really nicely. So I've been I've been walking you through that. Maybe go watch my recent YouTubes to kind of get a sense of the action. And because these things these videos, one will kind of tend to follow another. So certainly for local momentum, you're going to watch 99.5K. Kind of a pause here at range peak. That's fine. I know people are already calling top. Folks like stop. Maybe it's top, maybe not, but you can't. There's nothing here. Look at this weekly chart. You're insane to try to call top on this weekly chart. There's nothing there yet. I'll be the first one to mention when the trend weakens and changes. There's just nothing. So, there's other stuff going on in the market. The market's crazy. Ethereum, Sol, whatever. We'll look at that. But it's a nice, clean, steady trend. It's basically all the moving averages. It's an uptrend rising MA200. So really just watching, for a local throwback momentum here, 99.5K. Ethereum, we could just quickly touch base on Ethereum. It's been kind of a middling, boring, just grinding sideways chart here. You see that with the daily MA200 is just flat. And it's just been weak to Bitcoin. And again, a lot of people called bottom in this pair, and I said no. And there it was. And that's when I said, yeah, bottom's not in yet, rolled over. Now we have a fresh low. So Ethereum continues to underperform versus Bitcoin. If you want to trade itself, Ethereum versus the dollar, I'd say wait for 2,700 range low test or a recapture of 3,700 to ride the momentum. Yeah, I get it. GCR said, 10K by 2030. Great, but it's 2025. What are you going to do between here and there? So define risk for yourself. Come up with your own plans. Don't really pay so much. He's great, obviously, but don't make your whole plan on what other people are predicting, especially that far out. That's my thoughts on Ethereum. We'll take a look at Solana. Solana definitely was super, super strong. We got kind of a nasty upper shadow candle here with the failed, kind of a breakout and a recap and failure to hold. So an up thrust, big time volume, kind of looks like local topping volume, at least kind of rolling back, minimally testing 225 range, maybe a little bit lower, maybe back down to kind of 185. You don't like this type of momentum and volume on the sell-off. So that's kind of telling you it's a beautiful, overall the trend is fine. I mean, that's the MA200, but you've got a lot of local momentum suggesting that kind of a minor or secondary trend should be pushing the price back down towards demand, towards your rising demand structure, your higher lows. So pretty big follow through in that. And I think I mentioned that in one of my tweets. So we'll get back to Solana, pardon me, in just a moment. Let me say hi to the chat room. I've been riffing here. Let's check in with the chat. Let's see if we got some good questions and some comments. I see a lot of names that I see every time. Agnes, Faris, Andy, Caleb, Amno. Folks, thanks for coming every time. Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. Let's see. I hope this starts the video dancing. No video dancing now, but I've got some stuff, some projects I'm working on. I may do video there. Thanks for pointing out in Twitter. Sure, Faris, no problem, buddy. Oh, you mentioned Aave's relative strength. Yeah, I mean, Aave's been one of the stronger market participants. And you're kind of marking up your study and consolidation after an advance. You've got your range lows here. You had kind of a range low sweep and recapture, a break of the descending supply trend. Remember, it's not a trend line. It's a line to show you a trend, right? The trend line itself is not support or resistance. It's kind of indicating when the trend itself is changing, which is a trend of falling supply. In this case, you have the break. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to do this. You got a break of the falling supply and a little bit of a recapture of lower highs. And we're flirting with that here, flirting with continuation. You would expect this price to continue with the MA200. It's been one of the stronger market participants. I really do like Aave. So you're welcome, buddy. Rian says, howdy, what's up? Rian, Michael, top tier alpha. Thanks, man. I'm just chilling. I'm doing my thing. Rian says, do you care for fair value gaps? No, I don't pay any attention to that. I don't pay any attention to that, folks. You know my method. I think it's pretty good. I think I have a good track record. I don't want to compare myself to other people because there's no real point. I can only be me, but I do think I've got a pretty good record. And you've been seeing me do this for 7 years here. Thank you, everybody else. I'm from Virginia, says J.R. Walt. Tel looks good. Really? All right. I haven't looked in a while. Let's look at Tel coin. That's kind of one of the weaker ones, isn't it? Isn't Tel not great? But I haven't looked in a while. We'll look at Q coin. I know it's got some history there. Okay. It's definitely, there you go. Not terrible. A little bit more credit than I'll give it a little bit more credit. Here's the weekly chart, weekly base. It's above the weekly base. So yeah, I think you have some reason for enthusiasm in Telcoin above 004. So that's not too bad. Mauricio, what's up, brother? Any thoughts about the volatility? And folks, it's just me. By the way, there's like 200 of you. I can't read all the messages. I don't have a moderator. So if I miss your message, I'm sorry. I usually do read them after the video, by the way. Mauricio, is there any thoughts about the volatility of BCH? Is there any way tied to Bitcoin? Or should I always view them as separate charts? You should always view them as separate charts. If you're going to play Bitcoin Cash, I don't even know if I still have it up here. I had Bitcoin Cash for a while and I dropped it off the list because it was getting weak. Look, you should play every chart based on the four corners of the chart. This is a weekly. Let's go daily. It's kind of flat, not a lot going on. And definitely for momentum below 500, a little bit of a blow. Look, if you're going to play Bitcoin, play Bitcoin. You don't play Bitcoin Cash because of what Bitcoin's doing. When you're entering a trade, you're putting in a stop loss, you're entering at a price based on the chart in front of you, okay? Trade based on the four corners, corner 1, corner 2, corner 3, corner 4. What's inside the chart you're looking at? You have to simplify it. You have to have a method. When Bitcoin goes down, most of the time, a lot of stuff goes down, but there's relative strength. And there's charts that will go up even when Bitcoin's going down, or there's charts that will go down even when Bitcoin's going up. You have to play based on the four corners in front of you, and as much as possible, eliminate the noise and eliminate. If I'm going to play if I'm playing render, based on render, not what Bitcoin's doing. So it's a great question, and you just got to try to ignore everything else. Who's your favorite poker player? Well, I'm friends with Tom Dwan, so I have to say Tom Dwan. But who's my favorite poker player? And I haven't watched as much as I used to, but I'll just say Tom Dwan, Ape Sheet. R.I. Jr., what do you think about the last daily Bitcoin candle? And then I have a couple tweets to go over. What do I think about the last? Yeah, it's fine. I mean, you could call, it's a shooting star, but it's within a sideways environment. It's a spinning top. It is, what I care the most about this most recent candle is it held 99.5, a throwback. So I've got more price evidence that I need to watch this local level for momentum. Sure, it's an upthrust, whatever. It's within, look, you can upthrust with rising demand. We're building rising demand. We're moving with the trend until minimally there's a rollover at 99.5. Then I'll start to worry a little bit that we're going to drop back to 96 and maybe 92. But I'm just going to play level to level. And I'm playing each level as a trade. And I'm always giving the benefit of the doubt to the trend, which is the SMA 200. Let's look at a couple tweets. Break 96K and bears will chase. This was at January 13th, I said. What was going on here? So what was going on January 13th? Where's that? Right around here. Okay. So this is right after we had the range low breakdown. And I said, look, if we break this local momentum level, bears will chase. And they had to. We went straight. And then this is me saying, here you go, 106K, you're welcome. And just following momentum and understanding the power of false breakdowns and recaptures. BTC flirting with the highest weekly close in history right before this candle. That would have been right. I think it was right here. And then we dropped back down. Right. This is right here. Then we dropped back down, recovered, and did again, which is kind of crazy. So flirting went, and then boom, new all-time high. Pretty strong, right? Pretty strong. And then did you panic yesterday? And the point was, this is right after what? Trump coin rug or Melania or whatever. Yeah, look, there's a lot of moving targets, in this market. And you got to kind of, again, minimize the noise, go with the trend, mark your levels, understand momentum. Know that when you're risking money and you're trading, you have to be defining your risk and and it should be based on the price levels in the chart. And clearly, again, there's zero panic really below 99.5. Not that there's any panic in this range, but it's just a clean stair step for now. Did you panic? This is an interesting thread you can read. There's 231 replies. So this is fun. You can and then how you react to volatility is going to define your journey as a trader. So you're going to get volatility, and you need to understand that volatility is your friend, right? So when things are sideways, there's usually not a lot of trading opportunities. When you have volatility, you have an overextension, dip below the lower Bollinger Band, a movement outside of the standard deviation. Often momentum will snap back. It will lead to an opportunity, either up or down. You want volatility, right? Volatility to a trader is like water to a farmer. Without it, nothing will grow. And I talked about Sol, that nasty upper shadow candle flirting with an upthrust. So those are the tweets. But there's some good questions here in chat. Let me go to the chat and see what everyone's saying here. Love you, Chad. Started you 3 years ago. Thank you, brother. Your book, Trading Wisdom. By the way, 1/3 of Trading Wisdom is free on my YouTube. Check that out. Glad to hear you live. Thank you, Mauricio. Sure. I don't think I've looked at this one. Ina has been chopping for weeks. Okay. I don't know that I'm super familiar with this one. I don't know that I've ever looked at it. Okay. Not a ton of history, but kind of, M top, but it hasn't broken down. It's at the trough or the low of an M top. It's basically right at support. I don't like all this selling volume. This tells me without looking that the OBV is going to be kind of doing this. Let's take a look and see if Cheds is right. There you go. Look at that, right? You don't really need the OBV to see the OBV in the price. And so there's some distribution here. This is somewhat worrying. I don't like the momentum. Potentially rolling over, moving average cross, all the sell-off in the red candle is a counter-trend volume. Trend should be up, but high volume in the red candle is a counter-trend volume. I'd be careful here that this is not rolling over. Not a ton of history, so it's a risky play to begin with. I don't hate the chart. I definitely don't like it, and it looks like it's kind of flirting with going lower. JR, what's up? Distro. Talked about Aave. Ashman wants to know about Link, and I can't do all your requests. That's what I do at Bitcoin Live. So Link flirting with a breakdown back up above 1920, which is a good thing for momentum. Descending trend line break, lower high break, clearly has some momentum. And Link has actually kind of been a relative strength participant these last few days. So Link is looking to continue with the trend. I would potentially look for a trade entry on a throwback to maybe 22 range. If it gets it, maybe it pauses here, throwback, and kind of look to continue with the trend. It's a decent looking chart. What's up from France? What's up? Phil Hellmuth. Yeah, Phil Hellmuth. Not my favorite player, but he's a good player. Thanks for all your wisdom, Cheds, says Carlos. Thank you, brother. Shane says, any perspective and education to provide about Blunt's posting that we are near the top for Sol per his interpretation of Elliott Waves? Not really. I mean, Blunt is one of the better traders in my feed, like top 5. But, I'm not an Elliott Wave trader. And are we near the top for Sol? I don't know. I mean, I mentioned there's a short-term momentum top, but you don't want to bet against the trend. Trend is up here in the daily. Trend is definitely up in the weekly. I don't see the logic. There's no way you can call a weekly top. I mean, I see zero value in speculating on that. Price near all-time highs. It's above MA50, MA20, EMA34, EMA8. Like, what are we doing? So I don't know what, Elliott Wave's great. I'm not an Elliott Wave trader. I'd say Blunt is probably a better trader than me. But that's not, I'll let him do his thing. I'll do my thing. I'm not really going to comment on his style other than to say I don't see any evidence of a top. There's evidence of short-term momentum pause, but I just don't see it. All right, this has been fun. This is part of the quick market update series. These are kind of 12, 14, 15-minute video updates on my YouTube channel at Cheds Trading. If you find yourself wanting more Bitcoin Live, I do a twice a week full market report with the best team in the world that studies crypto. I've been doing that for almost 7 years. I'm super proud of that. Most of what I do is free. I've published 3 books. 4th book is along the way. Trading Wisdom, we've got a third of it is free here. Cancer Memoir, entire book is free. Trading quotes, I've tweeted out the whole book on Twitter. Watch the Masterclass tutorial playlist. If you like these videos, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to see next time. I can't read all your comments. It's just me. I'm hanging out. I'm just happy to go live. I talked about Bitcoin. I talked about the price climb here off of the range low breakdown. And recovery. We talked about a little bit of the low time frame, 4-hour W, 96K, multiple throwbacks to 99.5. And we've clearly marked out levels of momentum to play, in the near future. So we're going to stick with that. We talked about Ethereum as well, kind of flat to Bitcoin. I'm not playing unless we get interaction with major levels, break of 27, or sweep to range lows, 37, and sweep to range lows at 27. So, folks, thank you for hanging out. It's been a lot of fun. I could keep going. There's over 200 of you. It's a great crowd, but I'm going to get back to doing my thing. I'm actually editing a trading journal right now, and we're watching the market. So thank you for being here. And we'll talk soon. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Big Cheds out. Out.